38 men of the Royal Bahamas Defense Force have been promoted. 3 senior officers were promoted to commander, 6 senior lieutenants were promoted to lieutenant commander, 21 junior officers were also promoted, 7 petty officers were advanced to warrant officers, 68 senior and 143 junior rates were also advanced during the exercise. The promotions are retroactive. They came into effect on the 1st of October 2011. Police made an arrest today in connection with a large quantity of dangerous drugs. According to reports, police say around 12:55 this afternoon, officers from the Drug Enforcement Unit were in the domestic section of the Lyndon Pinling International Airport when they saw a man acting suspiciously. The man reportedly just arrived on a flight from Inagua. Officers reportedly conducted a search and uncovered 4 kilos of suspected cocaine. The drugs have a street value of $60,000. And the man is a resident of Sir Lyndon Pinling Estates. An investigation is ongoing. Meantime, police are investigating a house fire which has left an elderly man hospitalized. Police say it was just before midnight on Saturday that they were notified of the fire in Garden Hills. Firefighters met an upper-level bedroom to a 2-story home engulfed in flames. The fire was extinguished. However, the bedroom received extensive fire damage and the remainder of the home minor smoke and water damage. The victim, a man in his 70s, was removed from the home by neighbors and taken to hospital, where he's detained in stable condition tonight. Well, in this latest fire, the victim was fortunate to make it out alive. Many people were not so lucky over the last several months, 2 already this year, and that has police concerned. Commissioner of Police Ellison Greenslade says they're concerned when any life is lost, and that's why he says the police fire service under new leadership will continue to do what it's always been doing, but they hope the public will pay closer attention.
On a daily basis, our young children are at headquarters where tours are conducted. We expose them to the dangers of fire. That fire has its positive use, but certainly, if not handled properly, could cause death and mayhem. And so we have done a lot of work. We must continue to work, and I believe it is important for us on a daily basis to continue to speak this message that we should pay attention to safety issues in our homes. It's very unfortunate when we lose our people like that, and so we're going to continue to work at it.
Members of the Royal Bahamas Police Force Band attended a symposium at the Paul Farquharson Conference Center today. Part of their focus, big plans for next year when the band will celebrate 120 years of existence. Director of Music, Superintendent Ronald Campbell, is looking forward to the observances by the oldest unit of the force, and he says the public should too.
The band was formed in 1893. From then to now, we have 12 directors. The band had 12 directors. I'm being number 12. Each director would have a month from January to December, and we would display for knowledge and history, showing our country, the world, where we would have come from in 1893 to our present time, and we would get ourselves together in readiness for this great celebration. It's going to be a red letter year for the Royal Bahamas Police Force.
In other news tonight, the Cyril Lockhart murder trial opened today in the Supreme Court before Senior Justice John Isaacs. Lockhart is accused of the stabbing death of his brother, Luigi, back on Valentine's Day of 2011. Prosecutors say the incident happened at an apartment building on Blenheim Street, Stapleton Gardens, where Luigi's body was discovered lying face down on the ground. The siblings were reportedly arguing over a pit bull. Terry Archer heads the prosecution team, and Jeffrey Farquharson will lead off the defense. A local organization staged a peaceful demonstration downtown today calling for the establishment of a sexual predators registry. This follows a series of sex crimes against children recently. Leading the protest was CEO of Operation Sold, an acronym for Save Our Little Darlings, Christine Stubbs. Echoing the call for the establishment of a sex predators registry, Stubbs is hoping for even more public support and parliamentary backing after collecting some 5,000 signatures.
Action and justice will prevail for our little darlings, and we will be here every day. We will be at the courts. We will see what is going on with the cases of those who's been raped, molested and assaulted, those who was on bail at this time. We want them to stay in jail. Know that justice will prevail.
Just last year, a package of crime bills was passed in Parliament which included stiffer penalties for sex offenders. The Bahamas Red Cross, in conjunction with the National Emergency Management Agency, NEMA, this morning launched its week-long Saving Lives in the Caribbean Through Disaster Preparedness program. The workshop, which is underway at the Bahamas Red Cross headquarters on JFK Drive, is Phase 3 of an overall disaster preparatory program. Phase 1 started in 2008, and they're now on to Phase 3. The project is being funded by the Office of the Federal Disaster Agency through the American Red Cross. The American Red Cross has in turn chosen the Bahamas, Belize, and St. Lucia to mount the projects throughout the Caribbean. Director General of the Bahamas Red Cross is Caroline Turnquest.
The program involves us going into the communities. We will have a town meeting, let the persons know. We will gather stakeholders. We will let the people in the community know and come together, and we will do what we call a VCA, which is a vulnerability and capacity assessment, where they will go into their neighborhoods and they will look for vulnerable things. They will look for anything, challenges, for instance, the old derelict vehicles, down power lines, things that can pose a problem should we have a disaster, things that would keep us back. And they will put together a disaster plan for the area. So we are training persons how to look for things, how to ensure that their safety is first and foremost in their minds at all times.
Now, Turnquest reminds the public that key to safety is preparedness. 19 people representing countries around the Caribbean are here in the capital participating in the workshop, which closes out on Friday.
We work with the program pre-hurricane because in this particular area we find that hurricanes are the chief challenge we have. Now we also have fires, and we were fortunate enough not to have any earthquakes, but with climate change coming, you just never know. So you have to train persons on everything involving a disaster.
Welcome to tonight's edition of the Business Beat, sponsored by Royal Fidelity. Good evening, Bahamas. I'm Altaviz Munnings. Let's take a look at what's making business news today.
The local daily reporting Monday that the Bahamas Telecommunications Company plans to expand its Easy Top-Up cellular product to 5,000 points nationwide as it gears up for the second of 3 margin adjustments. BTC spokesman Mon Jan telling the print media that any rate adjustments would only impact BTC's wholesalers with no effect felt by retailers or side street vendors. This year marks the second consecutive year the Grand Bahama Port Authority has offered the license fee waiver for new businesses opening and operating in the International Bazaar. Port Authority executives boast the initiative boosted occupancy in the International Bazaar within 3 months of its launch. It's part of a series of business development initiatives launched by the Grand Bahama Port Authority to revitalize the island's business community. Port Authority President Ian Roll indicated that the economic environment is very challenging at the moment. However, Grand Bahama residents are finding areas and opportunities to invest so that they are positively positioned when the economy turns for the better. Farming ventures in North Andros are inspiring 2 Bahamian women professionals toward national economic empowerment. Letitia Dean, marketing representative at the National Workers Credit Union, and Gaming Board auditor Shavara Roker are convinced that Andros is key to solving much of the nation's economic challenges. In collaboration with the Bahamas Agricultural and Industrial Corporation, the women will embark on citrus production in San Andros and tap into the nation's $500 million food import bill. This project resonates with objectives of the United Nations Commission on the Status of Women. In international business, Eurozone finance ministers expected to meet soon with the Greek debt crisis likely to dominate proceedings. On the agenda will be what form Greek debt restructuring should take as part of a second bailout package for Athens. It comes after negotiators for private creditors left Greece without a deal to write off some of the country's debts. Remember, you can send us an email or join us on www.znsbahamas.com or become our friend on ZNS's official Facebook page.
And that will end tonight's edition of the Business Beat, sponsored by Royal Fidelity. Thanks so much for watching. I'm Altaviz Munnings.